goofs just goofing around, man. So we'll start here. You'll see that this content starts off with a big bold title, I'm free. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, is what this big bold title says. Now, this gives you the insinuation, or 21,000 people the insinuation, that Young and Hefe was in fact on his way home after Trap Lord Ross went to Young and Hefe's court date. And that's just unfortunately not the situation right now, at least not right now. We do know that Young and Hefe is fighting for his liberation, but this whole concept of I'm free and X, Y, and Z and all that, that's just not necessarily the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? It's not the truth of the matter at all. So why Compton Ricc Rocc thinks that it's appropriate or thinks that it's okay to, show these types of things or act like these types of things are going on when they're not going on is really beyond me. But this is the type of stuff that makes the LA podcast space look bad, because we have these guys like, Compton Ricc Rocc here giving out false information. So let's jump into this content.
Y'all want to know y'all that content. Y'all want to know why he had court coming up. I did a video. I said, here, they was waiting. This is that he had in the county. Everybody that was talking about this altercation that he had in the county. People wanted to hear it. They was waiting. Everybody was waiting, but Ant said, nah, I can't give y'all that content. Y'all want to know why he had court coming up.
Well, you don't know. Well, that's why. You don't know what the reason was why Young Ant did or didn't release that content, because he definitely put out some of the content because he made it known on Instagram. So that's the first mistruth that you said. Can we get a mistruth counter in the chat? Chat, do we have somebody to count the mistruths of Compton Ricc Rocc throughout this video? Because that's not an actual factual thing, brother. You have told a fib, a fable. And again, why you come onto our internet space fibbing and fabling when you have a relationship with WAC 100, who's adamantly and actively trying to get Young and Hefe accosted by the legal system, is beyond me, because WAC has already made it clear that his plan to get Young and Hefe off the streets by way of the jail cell is coming to fruition. So why Compton Ricc Rocc is now aiding and abetting to a false narrative when he's an affiliate of WAC is, interesting to see.
I did a video. I said, I don't think he's going to speak on this one. He better not speak on this one. And when he came to the internet, he didn't speak on it. It probably would have ended up in court.
But let me watch what I say, because the last time I made a video about this guy right here, I ended up with a text message at 10:30 saying, you better stop playing with me. You better stop playing with me. You better stop playing with me. Okay.
Now,
let me go get my PlayStation controller.
People is sneaking up there to Ant court dates. And y'all want to know who snuck up there to find out what was going on? And from the looks of it, Ant might be coming home next month on a bail. Let's check it out. And let's see.
So this is where the lies start. Now, is there a possibility that Young and Hefe could come home on a bail next month? For sure. He's not asking for no bail or to come home for free. He's asking for a bail reduction. So just before we get into this Kantiana, he's asking for a bail reduction. But what Trap Lord Ross will also explain is when asking for a bail reduction, you could be subject to a bail increase, which means that, yes, they could take it lower, but they can also bring it higher. So why he, again, put this as he's free is not really clear, because that's sensationalizing the situation and telling a mystery.
Is that coming home next month? This who went to court right here, man. Trap Lord Ross. Let's get to it.
All right, folks. So I'm back outside at the courthouse in downtown LA. We are here once again, but this time I'm not here for the David trial. We're here for something different today from the No Jump universe. I've got an update on the Ant Hefe situation. I came down to see Ant Hefe's court date in person. There were some very interesting updates. There was some very, very, very interesting details. I'm not going to lie to you. He looked very, very surprised and confused to see me in the courtroom. There were a couple of his homies in the back, and I was sat just in front of them. I got to the courtroom super, super early. I've been hanging.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. He was surprised to see you in court. I know he was. Now I wonder, did they wait for you at the court and chase you all around there, tried to get the footage that you was going to put out, whoop on you, anything like that? No, I'm just playing. But I'm going to tell y'all something. If it would have been somebody, any one of us, I don't think we would have been allowed. They would have walked us up out of there.
Oh, I already know. I said in my other video, let me would have pulled my double up and showed up to that court date. Nigga, I would have got the coldest escort. Headline, Rich Trapper gets packed out at Young and Hefe's court date by his homies. Nigga, what? What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they would have walked us up out of there. Them homies that was in that court, they would have met us outside. Man, what y'all doing up here? But Trap Lord, he walks right up in there and get the good content, man. Give him a round of applause. Yeah. All right, let's check it out.
Hey, man, he's whiter and brighter.
Around like all morning, just waiting to see his hearing. And I'm not gonna lie, he looked baffled. He looked baffled to see me in the courtroom, okay? Shout out to Ant. Hope he can resolve this situation positively. It's definitely no disrespect. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here with the public watching the trial. It was very different to the David trial. You know, there was less people in attendance in the courtroom. It was a little bit more disorganized, kind of more defendants kind of having their opportunity to kind of speak. And yeah, it was interesting. So I've got some big updates for you. So there were some rumors going around that like him and his co-defendant weren't kind of getting along or seeing eye to eye. Now, I don't know what the relationship is like, but him and his co-defendant, Johnny Gray, did come out to court together. They were let out in a blue jumpsuit. It's different to the orange jumpsuit that David's in. I don't know the reason for that. Maybe someone could tell me in the comments that knows about how it goes down in the LA jails. But he came out with his co-defendant, with both of their respective lawyers. It seemed like they both had...
David's in orange because he's in high power.
A different lawyer speaking for them. I don't know if that means that they're kind of, you know, dealing with their cases. They clearly weren't dealing with their cases separately because the judge came out, brought them both out together and dealt with them both.
They got their own paid lawyers. And if they both came out together, that mean they cool. This ain't the time for them to be trying to do all that, whatever they got going on. This ain't the time for none of that. They got to get along right now. Whatever they got going on. I don't know if they have an issue or not, but if they do, they got to get along. They got to play this all real well. This their life on the line.
Together, but they both had different lawyers standing over each of their shoulders, talking on their behalf. So it's not entirely clear to me exactly, you know, how much they're getting on. It didn't look like there was necessarily animosity between them, but they did have their own separate lawyers. So that was interesting. Now, before the judge actually spoke, and kind of held the hearing officially, Ant's lawyer kind of spoke to him privately for quite a long time. I couldn't hear what they were saying. They were a little bit far away from me, but they basically were talking quite a long time. This is kind of, I don't know, I hope I didn't distract him because I feel like that's when Ant sort of spotted me in the courtroom. He was kind of like, what the hell? And then, you know, he continued talking with his lawyer. They had like a little private conference.
All right, so let's stop right here.
Now, and nowhere through this, as we're listening to Trap Lord Ross, is it 4 quesadillas? Okay. To his chicken, or it's to his chicken and to his steak. So you can just figure out half and half. My bad, I'm feeding the family, y'all. Now, no point during any of this do you hear anybody say anything about Young and Hefe being set free. So I'm not again sure where Compton Ricc Rocc is coming up with this dissertation at. I get where he could, you know, be twisting and manipulating words, but I don't see quite yet where anybody says anything about him going free. But let's listen a little bit more and close our mouths.
You will become content, man. You're going to become content. You see, people was going out of their way to show up to the court date. Not because they care about you. Nobody care about you. None of us, man. This is money here. This is revenue. This is finance. It's going to pay the bills, especially if the views go up. So if you on here and anything happen to you, people is going to cover. They're going to watch when Big U trial come up. When his trial come up, you're going to have every YouTuber up there with a camera, a cell phone, meta glasses. It might be some squabbles out there. It's going to go down. That's going to be the biggest one, man. It's going to seem like a circus out there, man. You're going to have people trying to sell food out there, people with tents and sleeping bags out there trying to get that content.
Talking about some of the details. I don't know exactly what was said, but there was quite a long time that they were talking. There was a lot of going back and forth. Now, he looked very, very focused. I would say that Ant looked very, very focused, very serious.
That's because he's not smoking and drinking up in there. He got to be focused up in there. Yeah, you're going to look focused.
Hey, now that LA County Jail will get you focused. It'll get them demons up off you for sure.
When you up in there, mind clear as hell.
Serious. You know what I mean? It's like on that third or fourth court date when I saw David, he started looking a little bit relaxed and kind of, you know, like he was getting used to his surroundings. Obviously, I know Ant has been outside for quite some time. You know, it's probably not the first time that he's dealt with some legal issues from what I understand. But
after the athletic weekend that they just had, they need water and electrolytes.
He did look very, very serious. It looked very...
Now, I can imagine that, you know, Young and Hefe is taking this extremely serious, considering the fact that he is facing a life sentence. And, you know, a lot of people are sliding and gliding through these court dates. And like Compton Ricc Rocc did say, one thing he did say that was true is this is a revenue source. It's content, it's current news, it's current events. So should you decide that you want to catch yourself in these situations, you will be the content.
Stone-faced, he looked like he was taking this whole process very, very seriously.
He got to take it serious. His life is on the line. What are you talking about? He had to take it serious.
It wasn't a joke. He's fighting for his life, and I could really tell that. Now, what was interesting, okay, is that basically the judge kind of spoke with his counsel. They spoke about kind of...
Oh, this is the part about the bail right here. And again, if anywhere in this you hear somebody say that Young Jefe has gotten a bail and he's about to go free, please let me know. But to me, it just seems like Compton Ricc Rocc is, again, just sensationalizing and for his own benefit and to the detriment of Young Jefe, propaganding, making this into propaganda. You know, again, he is on the team of WAC 100. We know that WAC 100 and Young Jefe are not seeing eye to eye right now. So it just makes you wonder what would possess Compton Ricc Rocc to come onto the internet and tell such a salacious story. You feel me?
The situation that was going on. And basically they said that, I think they said initially there was going to be another date, sort of a follow-up date on August the 4th. But it's now been set for August the 6th. And what's really interesting is basically Ant's lawyer said that additional discovery had been provided. It sounded like it was a video clip. I know there's a video clip and a still image that allegedly shows Ant at the scene of this incident, you know, next to a white Range Rover with some distinctive clothing. It seems like perhaps that, in addition to like even more things, have been provided. Ant and his legal team said that they wanted some more time to go over discovery. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of information that they needed to go over.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Or speedy trial, try to speed it up so they can't get no more evidence. So let's see what else he got to say.
So they set the August 6th date for the next hearing. Now, what was very interesting, they said right now, the bail conditions that he was offered, obviously he hasn't made bail yet, but there was a big $1 million plus bail that was basically on the table. That's not been changed. That's set to stand right now. But, okay, they said that they need more time to look at this discovery. And it was very interesting. They said specifically, Ant and his legal team, they were asking for permission to have a laptop brought to him in jail so that he could actually watch and review the new discovery that had been provided. Again, I don't know if that's that video clip that's been circulated.
Wait a minute, hold up. Bring who a laptop in jail? Let me wind that back.
Now, here's the thing about this. Compton Ricc Rocc will say it like, again, it's sensationalizing, it's a propaganda. Compton Ricc Rocc has done enough time in the penitentiary system to know that when you have somebody bring a laptop in from jail, they're not actually bringing you a laptop in from jail. They're not actually bringing you in into your jail cell, so to speak. It's more of a situation where the laptop, go lay down, go. Leave the dog where she's at. Go lay down. Take her into the room. Go lay down. It's more of a situation where you'll be pulled into a private setting to where, you know, certain situations will be made presented to you on a laptop. You know what I'm saying? So, again, for Compton Ricc Rocc to play this situation like, oh, yeah, he's going to bring him a laptop to his cell. Either Compton Ricc Rocc is, again, just sensationalizing and pushing propaganda, or you guys probably shouldn't trust him as a news source because he thinks that you can actually get a laptop sent to you to your jail cell. So I'm not sure, again, if he's going for the sensationalizing route, the tabloid route, the, you know, more entertainment, less SPAC route. But if he does, in fact, think that you can get a laptop sent to your jail cell, again, you don't want to trust him as a street source. And if he knows that that's not true, you don't want to trust him as a reliable source. What's up, Boss Renegade? Because he's clearly capping you down.
I hear that right. I know they didn't say he'd bring no laptop in jail. How you going to get a laptop in? Let's see what's going on.
More time to look at this discovery, and it was very interesting. They said specifically, Ant and his legal team, they were asking for permission to have a laptop brought to him in jail so that he could actually watch and review the new discovery that had been provided.
I thought he would say so he could watch YouTube. That's what I thought he was going to say.
Again, I don't know if that's that video clip that's been circulating or whether there's more video footage.
Again, do you want to follow somebody who thinks that in the middle of somebody going to trial for murder, they want the laptops to not look at evidence but to look at YouTube? This is the person who you take for a trusted news source? So you mean to tell me, with all the street experience Compton Ricc Rocc has, he thinks that Young Jefe, who's fighting for his life as he's fighting a body with an over $1 million bill, wants a laptop to look at YouTube, not to actually go over the evidence of his case? Got it.
Or maybe other, you know, digital evidence that he wants to look over. But as I say, he's basically asked to have a laptop brought to his cell. So
boy, he get that laptop up in there, so he get that laptop up in there and they got a camera on it. He back in the game for real. Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Well, I don't think they'll do that. Now, if the DA was giving him a laptop, he'd be in trouble. But if he
Now, again, listen to the seriousness of this conversation. This man genuinely thinks that young Anhefe had the chance of getting the laptop into his jail cell. Really listen to the seriousness of his voice. And this is who you guys want to trust to guide you. This is who you guys want to trust to lead you. This is who you want to trust as a reputable news source. I mean, come on, guys. This man thinks that young Anhefe is going to be allowed to sit in his jail cell with a laptop. Oh, well, Trap Lord Ross said. This man thinks that young Anhefe is going to be able to sit in his jail cell with a laptop. And then don't let it have a camera on it. He will be making some good content. Are you serious, bro? This is our elder statesman. Got it.
get that laptop, he back in the game.
You see what I mean when I say, there's just so many mistruths coming from this guy, and he'll have you guys thinking that things are going in a way that just aren't going. So he starts off by saying young Anhefe is free. Do you really want to trust the opinion and the thought process of somebody who thinks that young Anhefe is going to end up with a laptop in his cell? Come on, man.
He's going to be on here all day, all night, live, every day.
So that he can actually review the evidence and review the discovery and kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with that. So I thought that was very interesting. It sounds like that wouldn't be a problem. But again,
it's crazy because Trap Lord Ross tells him what the laptop is for. He's just not listening because he's so caught up in his excitement of trying to make this video.
But if he get that laptop, he back in the game. He's going to be on here all day, all night, live, every day.
So that he can actually review the evidence and review the discovery.
Boom. So he can review the evidence in the discovery. Like, I'm not sure what this guy's talking about.
And kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with that. So I thought that was very interesting. It sounds like that wouldn't be a problem. But again, obviously it's different to the other case that I've been covering, but clearly there's a lot of digital evidence that needs to be reviewed in this situation. And, they're going to have to accommodate that. They're going to have to make it possible so that he can get a laptop inside his cell so that he can review the digital discovery so he can see what's going on. And I would like to know if that is in addition, if that's more discovery than we initially have been seeing circulate on social media. There's a video, I think it's on somebody's membership right now, okay? I don't know if it's publicly available. I've seen it, kind of screenshots of it on Instagram. But, there is some footage allegedly from the discovery that's going around that purports to show somebody that's allegedly with.
And it's crazy because he'll say it's on somebody's membership because he wants you guys to go figure out who it is so you guys can expose it.
Some distinctive, chain clothing, all sorts of things. Next to the white Range Rover that was allegedly at the scene.
Wait a minute, hold up. So you mean to say there is some footage that's on somebody's membership that they're using right now in court? If that's the case, then they got everything else.
That's what that would mean, Compton Ricc Rocc. That's exactly. I'm so glad that you're able to ascertain that. Look at you using that big old smart brain of yours. You got to be the smartest for sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, man. This internet had you twisted up like a pretzel. If that's what he said.
And that's what we've seen so far. That doesn't necessarily prove that he did anything that he's going to.
He ain't did. Man, let the man out of jail, man. If they had something on him, they wouldn't even be trying to give him a laptop. Man, let that man out so he get back out here and take care of his.
If they had something on him, they wouldn't even be trying to give him a laptop. No, my friend, that is called due process, where you are allowed to face your accuser and the evidence presented against you. It has nothing to do with anything having something against you or not having something against you and all that kind of stuff. That is actually not legally how the situation goes about. That is not actually not legally how the situation works itself out. So again, we do understand that you're having a hard time keeping up with the rest of the class right now, but the information that you are giving is less than accurate and less than sufficient. Man, you got to be the smartest in the class every chance you get.
And get guilty.
Kids, this is why education is important. You're watching in real time the importance of education.
By any means at all, but that is what's
reading comprehension is one thing. Listening comprehension is a whole nother thing.
Circulating. So it does sound like him and his team do want an opportunity to review that plus other evidence, all digital evidence. But there were other big things that were updated. So they basically said, okay, that they're going to have this next hearing. At the moment, it's set for August the 6th. I think they said there was initially a date that was set for August the 4th. They're moving that around. They want some more time to review everything. So it's less than a month, but it's like a good few weeks from now. But what I did find interesting is basically they said, both Ant and Johnny, they requested that they could have a bail hearing at the next.
So this is the part that you really have to pay attention to because they both requested a bail hearing. And Young Anhefe's bail hearing, according to Trap Lord Ross, came extremely, for lack of better words, last minute. You know what I'm saying? Kind of came as a humbug. But when the reality of the situation strikes, you'll be able to hear it. Let me just go ahead and close my mouth.
Court date, so on August the 6th. Now, what was interesting about that is that it did seem a little bit like during that time, maybe him and Johnny weren't on the same page as their strategy, because it seemed like Johnny's lawyer asked first if he could basically get the bail review at the August 6th date. The judge approved that, and then there was kind of like a little bit of a moment, and it almost seemed like maybe the judge wasn't sure if they were on the same page. And then the judge basically asked the judge basically asked Ant's legal team, do you also want a bail review on August the 6th? And they kind of had a little moment, and they were like, yeah, we do. It almost felt a little bit like they were kind of like, I don't know if they felt blindsided, but they just kind of like, the way that they were speaking was sort of like, yeah, we do. Like the two different lawyers over each defendant's shoulder kind of speaking separately. Again, it was just unclear whether
So again, listening to this situation, at no point in Trap Lord Ross's statement do you hear him say that Young and Hefe is to be set free. Let's continue.
It wasn't clear to me that they were totally in it together. They weren't having the same lawyer, but also they weren't going against each other. They weren't.
Man, now they not gonna go away. Man, they want to get up out of there, man. Now y'all wonder why Ant dropping all this content. He's saving this money up to get up out of there. He trying to get some bail money, some lawyer money. He trying to get this bread. He ain't caring about nothing.
Well, Compton Ricc Rocc, you just said that he was free in your title. So if you said that he was free in your title, it wouldn't make sense for him to have to be saving money, because according to your title, he's free. According to your title, he's on his way home and all that kind of stuff. So those statements don't really add up to what you're saying. Like, I hear you. I hear you. And, you know, I'm noticing what you're doing and what you're saying, but the logic is just not logicking, brother. So I'm just not sure what's going on.
What y'all talking about? He trying to get this paper, man. They gave him a bail. He gonna bail up out. His YouTube is gonna take care of that. I bet you that.
Cause it like it wasn't like they were adversarial in any way from what.
YouTube is gonna take care of that. I bet trying to get this paper, man. They gave him a bail. He gonna bail up out. His YouTube.
They gave him a bill. Do you hear how Compton Ricc Rocc is giving you guys wrong information? Young and Hefe actually has not had any stipulations or has not had any adjustments made to his bail. He has a bail, yes. He has a standing bail of over $1 million. That's what he's going through right now. That standing bail of over $1 million is what he wants to get modified and get dropped down to a lesser charge or to a lesser number. That way the bail could be sufficient enough for him to be able to take care of, you know, with the streets and all that kind of stuff. As of right now, Compton Ricc Rocc is making it seem as if he didn't have a bail and now he has one, which is actually not the case at all. So I'm not sure if his level of comprehension is just not there. I'm not sure if that maybe, you know, Traveler Ross is just moving a little bit too fast for him and he can't quite keep up with the rest of us. But I just wanted to be extremely clear that the way that is being presented is, again, as if Young and Hefe had no bail and now he does in fact have one, when in fact he had a bail that was over $1 million and he is asking for that bill to be dropped to a lower number that is, again, more manageable.
YouTube is going to take care of that. I bet you that.
Cause it like it wasn't like they were adversarial.
And here's the thing, too. If his funds were able to be, you know, taken care of right now by way of YouTube and all that, he'd already be out. It wouldn't be a situation that he's in now where he is, you know, trying to ascertain his freedom.
In any way from what I could see. Now, what was very, very interesting and unfortunate is that when the judge basically signed off that they were going to be able to have...
Now, listen to what Trap Lord Ross said. This is what's very unfortunate. Again, contradicting to everything that Ricc Rocc has been saying.
The bail hearing in the next court date, she did warn them. She became very, very serious, and she basically said, I have to warn you, due to the statute, due to this being a murder case, due to this being so serious, be careful, because it's possible that at that hearing you might be trying to get a lesser bail, you might be trying to make your bail, but she's saying the crime is so serious that there is always a possibility that when it comes to that hearing, we might revoke bail, we might say no bail, we might move it to say, no, actually, this is so serious, you want to try and get a bail hearing, but we're actually going to give you no bail, no possibility of bail at this point. And, you know, they accepted that. I mean, it wasn't really a debate.
Now, listen to that. So instead of Compton Ricc Rocc saying Young and Hefe is free, a more appropriate title would have said Young and Hefe needs a bail hearing and could be set free or could have his bail removed. However you should word that. But I'm not sure again. Well, I am sure. But again, this is just misinformation. It's a lot of these guys just giving pure misinformation about the situation.
Man, listen here, man. If they come up on the bail and get bailed out, cool. If not, then hey, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. They're going to have to just sit up in there and fight. That's it, man.
So do you hear like his level of, like the highest, like from what you're listening, does it sound like he's not really sure what's going on because he's just pretty much contradicting what's actually being said? It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I guess listening is hard, but man, it is what it is. It's crazy, right? Because that's like, yeah, like I don't know, man. Compton Ricc Rocc gives me a lot of moments where I just kind of just stop and just kind of like, what? He leaves me speechless a lot because the level of intelligence here is just so minute, and it's just like, But all right, man. We gonna continue on, chat. Real spill. What it is? TNN Trap Roots Network.
I was with Rich Rapper.
I fucks with you.
Warning, this video is for satire, educational, and comedy use only. It is not intended to be actual fact, nor is it intended to give real meaning to any of the questions you ponder about later.
Carjack 100 here. If you need your transmission check, come on down to Carjacks. I'm your transmission expert.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that content. We heard the cries, we heard the complaints. Now we don't got no intro, but we do got an outro with the same information, man. Make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure you dropping comments. Make sure you dropping likes. Make sure you subscribing to everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network, because we will be giving away some more Chiliana once we hit that 40,000 membership, 40,000 subscriber, threshold. We're gonna make sure that we give y'all some Chiliana, man. So make sure that y'all stay tapped in. Make sure y'all stay looking out. Make sure y'all stay right here at TNN Trap News Network. The news you can use, the knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We're gonna keep you updated on what's going on these YouTube streets. You already know the deal, man. If you enjoyed this content, throw the red dot to the left. You know the rest. We go.
Hi, I'm Whack 100. When I'm not snitching on the internet, I'm snitching in real life. For your own personal home security, call 1-800-WACK-ATTACK. We're first, law enforcement second. Hey, I'm Adam22. Got an extra soul laying around? Be like Doughboy and Whack 100 and sell yours today. One soul equals a lot of clout.
Apollo Jackson.
It's dangerous. Think I'm outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboard. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bush and you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall, 81 points strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell us. Nothing. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bush and you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboard. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Fake is hella fake, I know what enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm an aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missing with the bullshit, you get saved. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missing with the bullshit, you get saved. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.